Dan, sorry to put you in the hot seat, but there's obviously been some question and concern about what's happening with FSS these days. You took on an impossible task. You took on, after a government program of many years, and tried to bring efficiency to what the FAA has been doing over the course of many years in various auspices, and efficiency and FAA didn't necessarily go hand in hand. What's happening right now, realistically? What can we expect, and what are you doing with the situation as it stands?
Well, I think you're seeing, or will see in the next couple of months, a vast improvement over the initial transition period. We did have a hiccup in the late April, early May timeframe, and you're right, we're trying to do something that's very drastic in terms of modernizing flight service. We're taking it from an FAA-run operation of many years using old, antiquated equipment, and within the space between February and late August of this year, we're going to totally revamp and modernize all the equipment and giving new tools to the specialists to perform. What we found out in terms of working with the system and working with the pilot community, there seems to be two issues that they're primarily concerned with at this time. One is the wait time that they're experiencing before they actually get to talk to a specialist, and the other is local area knowledge. What we've done since we are now consolidated to where we have 14 of our 15 end-state facilities now open, our average wait time has dropped significantly. I talked to my supervisors back at headquarters this morning, and for the last couple days we're averaging less than 20 seconds average wait time for call. Now, there are times when people experience 5, 6, 7-minute delays, but over the course of the day we're down under 30 seconds wait time. Probably more important is the local area knowledge. There we do have a very sophisticated call tree, and we have a lot of flexibility in how we manage the calls coming into the system. We're now instituted a 2-minute delay on a call coming in when a pilot asks for, say, weather in the Fort Worth area. That call will stay in a Fort Worth queue for a minimum of 2 minutes. And if the call is not answered by then it will go to the next adjacent flight plan area, Albuquerque, probably Albuquerque. So we try and keep the pilot close to the area that he or she wants that information.
What can people expect when they're trying to get weather or file a flight plan in the near future, and then, if you can, prognosticate over a little bit more broad period of time?
Okay, yes. First of all, I'd like to say that the specialists we have working are the same people that have been dedicated to this profession for many of them 30, 35 years. They're great people. They know their job. We are bringing in some young people. That we have a school set up in Prescott now. We have about 60 new specialists trained within the last year. They're coming up to speed very rapidly. What we're trying to do is look for ways to create a better environment for pilots to get information they need to fly safely. For example, when they file a flight plan, and we do have on file their email address or their PDA address, and a change occurs in the flight plan, we will in the near future be able to send updates back to the pilot saying, call flight service because there's been a change in your flight plan, either weather conditions or some other TFR or some situation like that. We are going to, by the end of the year, introduce a web page where the pilot can physically look at the same weather maps that the specialist is looking at the particular flight service station. So we're looking for a more interactive, real-time ability for pilots and specialists to look at the weather, understand the situation, and therefore create a safer flight environment.
Can you explain a little bit of just how big an operation this is?
Yes. When we first sat down 4 years ago and saw this opportunity coming out of the FAA, Lockheed Martin, after several briefings to our management, said, we really have all the tools and the capability to do this. And so we set on a very discrete, long-term path of planning out this system. We planned out not only the new design of the system, but the operations and how we're going to manage the system. It's a $1.7 billion program over 10 years, and it is a significant undertaking. We have been very aggressive to make this transition happen quickly, and it's been, yes, painful. But once we get through in the September-October timeframe, We'll be introducing new functionality like I just mentioned to you before, and we're always open to suggestions from pilots on how better to improve the system. We're not going to just finish and just stay stagnant. We're going to look for continuing ways to improve service. What you don't know is that we are working very hard behind the scenes every day to improve this system. We're taking nothing for granted. Lockheed Martin's goal is to provide the best service possible in terms of providing the pilots a safe, efficient, and quick environment in terms of flying. We do what we do want to hear. We do want to hear from the pilots and get ideas on what they like and what they don't like. And we plan to respond to those in ways that'll make the system better. So I think the bottom line is we are working hard at it. We're not being complacent, and we do look for ideas to make it better.
One of the things that the folks of Lockheed Martin wanted me to emphasize is that there is a resource that you cannot ignore. It's right here on the front of their pilot tips guide. But basically, for all the information you may need about this topic, www.afss.com. That's Alpha Fox Sierra Sierra .Charlie Oscar Mike. Right there. Check it out.